The great arena of Kirshan had witnessed 1,000 champions, but never had it heard laughter quite like this. Lieutenant David Chen stood in the center of the combat circle, his human military uniform looking absurdly plain against the ornate armor of the gathered warriors. Around him, representatives from 47 species watched and mocked. "This is the human warrior?" Karith the Bone Crusher rumbled, his forearms crossed. "This soft thing? I heard they have no natural weapons," hissed a Cytherian delegate. "No claws, no venom, not even proper teeth." David kept his expression neutral. He'd been through worse than mockery. He was here for the trial of blades, a ritual that would determine whether humanity earned a seat on the Galactic War Council. Then the arena fell silent. Karvoth, the Unbroken, descended from the highest platform. The Xyrillian warrior was a legend. Standing 9 feet tall, his obsidian exoskeleton bore the marks of 300 battles. His 6 blade-like limbs could tear through steel. He had never been defeated. He had never accepted anyone as his equal. "Human," Karvoth's voice resonated like grinding stone. "There are no rules. No surrender, no mercy. You will fight until you cannot continue." "I'm not most people," David said quietly. The laughter started again. "A human claiming to be special?" "Absurd, begin." Karvoth moved first, blindingly fast. His blade arm swept toward David's midsection with lethal force. David wasn't there. He dropped and rolled, coming up behind Karvoth's guard. His combat knife flashed out, finding a gap in the exoskeleton. First blood. The arena gasped. What followed was a brutal dance. Karvoth had strength and natural weapons. David had human evolution, persistence hunting, pattern recognition, tactical thinking. When Karvoth struck high, David went low. When the Xyrillian used power, the human used precision. Minutes stretched into an hour, then 2. The crowd's laughter died, replaced by stunned silence. The human wasn't just surviving. He was adapting. Every exchange taught David something new about Karvoth's patterns. But David was tiring. Blood seeped from a dozen cuts. His breathing came ragged. Karvoth prepared for a final strike. Then David did something no warrior had ever seen. He laughed. And he lowered his knife. "What are you doing?" Karvoth demanded. "I'm beat," David said, grinning despite the blood. "You're stronger, tougher, better armed. If this continues, you'll win." He wiped blood from his lip. "But that's not the point, is it?" "Explain." "The trial isn't about winning. It's about proving worth." David gestured to the crowd. "Everyone thinks strength is everything. But you don't. If you did, you'd have killed me in 30 seconds. You let this fight continue because I showed you something. Not superior strength, but the will to keep fighting when outmatched. The ability to adapt. The refusal to quit." He met Karvoth's gaze. "That's what humanity brings. We're too stubborn to know when we're beaten, and too creative to fight fair when the odds are against us." The arena was deathly quiet. Then Karvoth lowered his blade arms. All 6 of them. "In 50 years, no warrior has understood this," the Xyrillian said slowly. "You are weak by arena standards. Your species is young, soft, breakable, but you possess something rarer than strength. The wisdom to know that true warriors are defined not by victory alone, but by how they face inevitable defeat." Karvoth raised one blade arm in salute. "You have earned something I have given to none before." He touched his chest, then extended his arm toward David. "I name you Battle Brother. My blade, my strength, my loyalty, and any who laugh at you now laugh at the Unbroken himself." The transformation was instant. Species who had been mocking humanity now stood in shock. Karvoth's endorsement meant more than a council seat. It meant an alliance with the most respected warrior in galactic history. David gripped the offered blade arm firmly, feeling the razor edge press against his palm without cutting. "Trust given. Trust received, brothers," David said simply. "Brothers," Karvoth confirmed. "And let the galaxy remember humans may be weak. They may be small. But they are the only species who fight not just to win, but to prove that the fight itself has meaning." He turned to the arena. "Any who wish to challenge humanity's place must first go through me." No one challenged. That night, Karvoth visited David's quarters, carrying something wrapped in ceremonial cloth. "In my culture, when one accepts a battle brother, there is a tradition." He unwrapped a blade unlike anything David had seen. "This weapon took 30 of your years to craft. I had intended to carry it until I found another warrior deserving of brotherhood." He offered it to David. "I no longer need to search. David took the blade with reverent care. I don't know what to say. Say nothing. Simply remember, you were laughed at by an arena full of warriors and you faced them with dignity. You were outmatched by the greatest fighter in the galaxy, and you faced me with courage. Karvoth's eyes gleamed. Humanity will need both in the days ahead. The War Council is not for the weak-willed. Then it's good, David said with a slight smile, that humans have a terrible habit of not knowing when to quit. Karvoth's clicking laughter filled the room. Yes, I believe the galaxy is going to find humanity very annoying. That's kind of our specialty. As news spread across the stars, the story took on a life of its own. In 1,000 languages on 100 worlds, people told the tale of the human who had earned the impossible, the respect of Karvoth, the unbroken, and with a galaxy that had stopped laughing.